Okay, rolling. Well, Madonna has called, and as always, we have come, this time to the secluded Larrabee studio in North Hollywood, where she's about 2/3 of the way through her new album. Let's go see what it sounds like.
Hello? Kurt? You there? You hear the effects?
Is that too bright?
Why don't you go over there?
Make this off or?
Oh no, because he's over there. Never mind. Why don't I just shut up and stop directing you all? Should we do one more song or not?
Let's do one more.
Okay,
Surprise us with
let's
something.
do Little Star.
Okay.
Just for, yeah,
All right.
for something completely different.
Okay. What was the inspiration for this?
For which?
Little Star.
Lola.
Oh.
Otherwise known as Lourdes Maria.
Ah. How's she doing?
It's my one super sentimental song on the album.
Well, everybody should have one of them, I think.
Exactly. Where's my engineer?
Oh. Send out the pass signal.
Well, we always bring Lola in when we're like 3 chords away through the song, and if she grooves to it, then we know we're in the right place.
Is she pretty accurate about that?
Oh yeah.
Oh. Well, that's pretty.
Yeah.
Those are incredibly dense tracks. There's a lot going on there. Mm-hmm. Did you put all that on there yourself?
Myself?
Well, I mean, did you instruct others to do so? Or?
Well, I would say that it was a collaboration between everybody, between me and William Orbit.
Can we meet some of these people?
Yes, I would love to introduce them to you. Okay.
Can we get a?
We'll get the hand mic.
Well, this is Pat McCarthy, my engineer, otherwise known as Pat Man.
So these tracks seem really, really dense with stuff. Is this hard for an engineer to keep it all like discreet?
Discreet.
Isn't that a technical term?
Discreet.
Come on.
It comes to me pretty well arranged.
Well, okay, I guess that says it all. All right, we'll move on.
I can just turn this right around.
To whom?
What, to William Orbit.
Oh, let's go over here.
William Wainwright III,
Damn little stools in the way.
otherwise known as William Orbit.
And what has William brought to this project, Madonna?
Wow, that's a big question. Well, a certain brand of sort of madman type genius, really.
Would you say that's
Yes.
accurate?
I'm the last to know.
So what have you added to this record? It sounds unusual.
Crunch.
Crunch, bites,
Bubbles.
chewiness,
There's a lot of bubbly bits.
locked in goodness.
There is a lot of bubbly bits.
Yeah.
I noticed that.
Let's go over here.
Oh, all right.
Marius.
Yes.
Marius Van Wyck.
Sorry to
DeVries.
patronize you.
And I worked with Marius on my bedtime story record. So
This is a lot different from that, I would assume.
Yes, it is.
In what way?
The music's different. and the songs are
Naturally, Marius. I know that, but I mean,
there's more sort of, I don't know, more synthesizer stuff, more interesting,
more techno.
abstract sounds.
who else should we talk to, Madonna?
Matt, come over here.
He's got no respect for authority.
Exactly, which is we need one rebel.
Okay.
Has it been a pleasant experience for you?
When he's not
Pleasurable.
talking on the phone to his girlfriend or chain smoking cigarettes. He can,
Ooh, in California, that's not allowed.
and everybody knows who Guy is.
No one knows who Guy is. Guy.
Oh, please.
Well, I mean,
That's his birthday.
it's your birthday. Oh,
20, 23,
congratulations.
25. Oh my God.
Wow. Do you think you'll see 26 at this rate?
Yes. Looking forward to it.
Now, what has been your role in this album?
Oh, get out.
Just helpful friend.
You know, he's our discerning ear.
Oh, so is that everybody?
Yeah.
It's a trim little
This
crew.
is our family. Yeah. We
right.
you know.
Now, where are you now? You're like 3/4 of the way through. You said.
Yeah, we've got a couple more tracks to cut. We're working on a new song today, and then we start mixing. We've mixed a few things. There are certain kinds of records that I always listen to. Most of them come from England, a few from France, and it's a certain kind of a sound. I can't describe it. And the only
Dense,
way to
thick.
get that sound is to work with the people that make those records. So here we are.
Their songs had I don't want to get too technical or anything, but I mean they had a very defined landscape, if you like. There's a lot going on, and I kind of assumed that like spent ages on it. And when I came down to the studio and saw how quick it was, I was a bit blown away actually, because I take ages on stuff. This is definitely a very full-on production for Madonna as well. I think it's important to mention that because I mean that's what I do for a living, and I'm learning a lot of production techniques off of you, which I hadn't figured I was going to do coming into this project.
I'm more instinctual.
You don't waste a lot of time thinking.
I'm not a musician at all in that respect. I'm not a trained musician, so maybe that comes in handy. Go into the vocal booth.
Where is it?
You know what? On the way there, why don't you just show them around like you did before on the way there?
Okay.
Yeah, show them a little tour
right.
on the way.
All right, so this is the.
So I guess you guys were going to do Skin.
Okay.
right? That's the name of the song we're working on today. But I don't think we want to go with the harmony route right now.
Did you change the name of that song?
Yeah, I did.
Oh, what was it called before?
Never mind.
Well, I wouldn't tell anybody. I just wondered. So this is the.
This is the lounge area. It's different from the other lounge area.
What goes on in here?
Matt usually calls his girlfriend in here.
Huh.
This is the guitar garden.
Oh, now which one?
This is where
which one is your? If I had a hammer guitar here.
Listen, I really don't play the guitar. These are all Williams guitars,
Oh.
and he goes insane in here. Okay.
Wow.
I know nothing about any of them.
All right. So
We
that's
just put them
Guitarville.
through a Marshall. That's all I know. And here's
this-
this is my little garden.
Okay, and this is. I see you have here a lot of tea.
My ginseng tea. See?
Some.
Somebody came in here and set decorated it, you see, sunflowers.
Oh.
Isn't that sweet?
Sweet. All right, so you're going to do skin.
But you know, it won't sound good in here. You should go in there and listen.
Well, I think we're getting a feed off the board, so we'll hear the feed, but we'll see you.
Marius, that was wrong, wasn't it? Okay, go back. Did I do that wrong? Was I close my eyes in the right place? It was right? Well, if I sang the verse right, just pick it up right after the last I closed my eyes.
It's almost psychedelic, dare I say.
Yeah. Drug music without drugs.
Yeah. Is that possible? Well, I guess it is.
None
if
of us
we're
are on
doing it.
anything. It's possible if you have really free people.
Yeah.
Because ultimately that's what drugs do. They free your mind and give you the feeling like you have, no
Yeah.
inhibitions. You can go anywhere.
So you're just in touch with your inner whatever. And
My inner self.
yes.
Well, I'd like to think I am. I mean, I've come a long way. I used to think I was in touch with my inner self, and then I realized that was my inner ego.
What's the difference?
Because the ego is all, gratification for yourself alone. It's not very much sharing and kindness
So
and
it's-
generosity.
So does this have
involved.
anything to do with having children? Because children, of course, put something in your life that gives you something else to live for besides yourself.
It has a lot to do with that. I mean,
Yeah.
I think probably having her set me off on a new way of thinking, and then I just gone down a different road.
Yeah.
Period. And good for it. It was very good for me too, because then the writing of this record and the working on it, where I was going allowed me to be much more
Yeah.
free and experimental. It's been really fun. I've never had so much fun really working on
Yeah.
it. Never felt so free to experiment and.
Yeah. I mean, some of it sounds like a big starfall in the sky or something. There's just so much going on up there.
Yeah.
What is the rest of the album like? I mean, there are how many songs? 13, something like that?
14.
14?
But I'll only put 13 on because 13 is a lucky number.
Yeah, it is? Mm-hmm. How is it a lucky number?
13 is the age when, that's why boys get bar mitzvahed at the age of 13, by the way. That's the age when the soul gets completely, like, sort of solidified in your bodies. When you come into your own.
Is this one of those Kabbalah things?
Uh-huh. Yeah, it is.
So you've been doing some spiritual searching,
Yeah.
kind of. Mm-hmm. When this is done, and when the record finally comes out, it's been a long time since you toured. You gonna be
Yes.
touring again?
You know
or-
what? I really want to tour with this record because I just, like, love it. It has so
Yeah.
much cool energy, and it would be great. If I have to sing like a virgin, I'm going to kill myself.
Well, you don't have to do that. Because,
I know. I don't even want to sing Vogue. You know what I mean? It's like, I feel like that's like 100 years away from me. Songs are like, they're like tattoos. You know what I mean? It's like they represent a time in your life, and if you've really moved on,
Yeah.
it's hard to go back there and sing it with feeling.
Can you go out on the road and just do the new album?
I'd like to. I don't know if I could do that.
Who would stop you?
Nobody.
Nobody. Well,
Kurt.
there.
Well, let's go to the lounge and see if Lola's there.
Okay.
No? Let's go there anyways. Let me just see what these guys are doing because I hate wasted time.
As well we know. What's the name of the album going to be? Do we know yet?
I don't know that either. We were thinking of calling it Veronica Electronica.
Surely you'll think about that
one
twice.
That is one of my middle names. But you didn't know that. A little bit of trivia.
Veronica, I know that.
Okay.
I've known that for a
Okay.
long time.
Don't get loud,
Yeah,
Kurt.
it's just sorry, I like that Veronica Electronica though.
It's a
go
bit
with that.
silly.
But you're in
don't
a
know.
silly, fun mood,
Yeah, I could. You can always, last resort, take a title, a song title, and use it. But
That would be too easy though.
yeah,
I think. And the songs' titles aren't even definite, are they? I mean, you'll be changing all of them too. Everything will be different by the time the record comes
everything's
out.
changing constantly.
With Madonna last week in New York, I asked her if she still thought about the death of Diana.
I mean, I haven't really stopped thinking about it. I know there's this, like, it's become sort of massively popular again because it's the anniversary of her death. I've never stopped thinking about it because, you know, I still keep getting chased by paparazzi, and especially when I go to England. I mean, and even now, I mean, you see photographs of her now, in a way, it's hard to believe that she's dead. She still seems like she's among us.
Did you meet her?
Yeah, I did. She's very sweet and very shy. Good to have direction. Yeah. I don't know, I think I've always been a really curious person. Curious and hungry and wanting to know more, and I think that's definitely propelled me forward.
Along with that is the discipline. A lot of people are ambitious, but they don't, in fact, have the discipline.
Well, discipline is highly necessary, yes.
But it's pretty hard to do that on it. Have you ever decided, just woke up one day and said, it's too hard today, don't feel like work?
No, that's not in my molecular structure. To not do something, no, I can't. I mean, I could take days off from, you know, from work per se, or, you know, I always have to have some sort of discipline in my life.
But that's pretty hard to keep driving yourself with discipline. And a lot of people...
But it drives me. I mean, it's like I said, it's part of me. It's not something that... It's part of my nature. I feel like I always have to be productive, doing something. I can't just lay around and do nothing all day. Well, you can't lay around and do nothing when you have a baby anyway, so... What is your advice to kids out there who are struggling with their own identity and what they want to do in life? Is it discipline? Well, part of it comes from, you know, just, you know, figuring out what it is that you have to say, what's important to you. And what do you want to do with your life, and what is it that you have to say? I mean, you have to find things to be passionate about, because otherwise, if you're not passionate about it, you're not going to be able to deal with the ups and downs and the disappointments and the setbacks and the rejection and everything. I mean, if you really believe in what you're doing and what you have to say, then you can just keep moving forward regardless of the fact that, you know, other people are giving you approval or something. Advice for people, and we all do in life, face rejection, personally, professionally. So how do you steel yourself for it? For what? Rejection? How do you deal with rejection? Just having conviction about who you are and what it is you have to say. I mean, like I said, I mean, if you really believe in what you're doing, then it doesn't matter how many people shut the door in your face. You're driven. You were quoted as saying, you know, you're trying to figure out what you want to do, but if you can't say, I'll die, if I don't. Is that accurate? Yeah, I did say that. I'm not sure if I agree with it anymore. But, I mean, I do think it's important to be really passionate about things, but I also think it's important to be flexible. So, I think I should reword it. How would you reword it? That it's important to have desire, but you also need to be detached from the idea of getting results. In terms of your business, where did Madonna acquire the smarts, the business acumen to run you the business? I don't know. I pay attention, and I have a very organized mind. So, I think being observant, having an excellent memory, and being able to sort of intuitively sort of feel things out and, you know, tap into stuff and, like, know if somebody's got something, you know. Being able to really pay attention to details, that sort of thing, helps to be a good person. Yeah, intuition, really being in touch with your intuition. But you didn't do a business degree and you're not a lawyer? Well, that doesn't mean that you don't need to do that to know about talent. I mean, I don't do all the business. I don't do the bookkeeping. I mean, I have people that do that, but I think I have a good ear and a good eye for other talent. Have you ever found yourself in your life and your career literally being surrounded by people who are sycophants?
yes people?
Yeah, occasionally, but I don't. I mean, if you're an intelligent person, you know the difference between someone who's telling you the truth and someone who's kissing your ass. I mean, you don't. It's boring to be. You know when you're surrounded by sycophants, and I don't think an intelligent person really appreciates that. I think you want to know. You want other people's input.
You used to be this mad exercise machine. What happened to that?
Oh, well, I'm now a mad yoga machine. No, I got sick of it. I wanted to do something else.
How does the yoga, a lot of people just think that's sort of almost sleepy stuff.
Yeah, there is a misconception, I think, about what yoga is. You sit in a lotus position and you close your eyes and you meditate and you say Om, and that's not what it is at all. I mean, yoga is a state of mind. It's a philosophy. And it's about, you know, non-judgment, non-violence, compassion, and non-attachment to the material world. That's the essence of yoga, and all the asanas and the breathing and the meditation and all of that. It's a discipline that you learn as you practice that philosophy, or you live that thought.
Well, is that tough for you, because the celebrity that you enjoy or have to survive through, is that tough to get that detachment in life?
Yeah, absolutely, but that's why it's so great, because when you're a celebrity, or when you're in the entertainment business especially, you get really attached to the idea of approval, of being popular, of being, you know, accepted. You get attached to things. You want things. You want to acquire things. You want to be at the top of a list. You want to be, you know, at the top of the charts. You want to have them be in the movie that makes the most money at the box office. And yoga is the opposite of all of those things. And the only way to survive all of that is to actually think in the, you know, to not be attached to it, and just be free and be, you know, just try to live as a creative individual, and to not live a sheltered life, and just to be observant, to be out in the world, paying attention, listening, watching. That's how you tap into things.
But how do you do it when you are... it's very difficult for you to walk out the door. You certainly just can't go for a walk down where, you know, the kids are 12 and 15, or in other parts of society, you're mobbed. So how do you keep in touch with the world?
Well, I'm not in certain places. I can't leave my door and go for a walk, but, you know, I listen to music, I look at art, I read the newspaper, I'm very aware of what's going on around me in the world. I have friends, you know, and people that I work with who are very tapped into that. And I think you just have to pay attention to things. You really just have to pay attention. And like I said, now, you know, not live in a gilded cage.
Can I ask you what's on your hand?
It's called Mindy. It's henna. It's like a henna tattoo. And it's a ritual of love. And most women get it done before they get married. And the deeper your tattoo goes, the deeper your love and the bond will be between your husband and you. And there's some people in some countries, you do it for voodoo, for witchcraft, for magic. Sometimes women do it, they get together, it's like a social custom where all the women get together on the weekend and they spend an entire weekend, you know, they leave their children, and it's like a pajama party, and they all do Mindy to each other, and they sort of like, if they want to renew their vows in their relationship, or they want, their husbands are about to go on a business venture, it's you know, it's about bringing good luck to into your life.
Why did you do it?
Because it's beautiful. Because I want all those things. No, I think it's really beautiful. I mean, and it's not permanent. So it's like getting a tattoo, and then, you know it's going to go away pretty soon.
Renewing vows, was that a purpose for it?
No. No, actually, the reason I did it this particular time was for a photo shoot. So, but I also think it's a very beautiful art form.
But you'd like all those things that it is supposed to achieve? Love?
Love and luck, absolutely.
Do you have trouble finding love then?
Do I have trouble finding love? No. No, I mean, love is everywhere. Different kinds of love is everywhere.
Since the birth of her 22-month-old daughter, a nurturing, a more loving Madonna has emerged. In our interview last week, I asked New York's most famous first mum what it was she missed most during her pregnancy.
Getting to wear cool clothes. I mean, when you're pregnant, you just have to wear, like, you know, tents, really.
Was that horrid?
Yeah. I basically wore the same black dress because, you know, black is a very slimming color. And, you know, I had like 3 or 4 long black dresses that, you know, as your legs turn into sausages and your waistline expands, you just kind of cover it up with a long black dress. So there's just no way around it. You know, there's just no such thing as nice maternity clothes. So.
We have a lot of women who watch our show, we're at Midday show, who literally either feeding babies at home or are waiting to have babies, and you know, they're just fascinated with how they can get through their pregnancy.
And it's good to wear a long, it's like solid colors, long, you know, cover yourself from your neck to your ankles. Dark, long, yeah. And no mini skirts. Okay. And never go to the beach.
No?
No. No.
Bad idea.
Well, I think it's important that people have a certain, you know, visual image of you, and, you know, they maintain that visual image of you. When I was pregnant, I mean, I disguised it pretty well because I was making a movie, but once the movie ended, it was like my body knew that I didn't have to fit into a size 6 anymore, and then my stomach just grew. And it just stayed in my house a lot.
I interviewed Elle McPherson after she had the baby, and one question I didn't ask.
Well, she's 8 feet tall, so that's not fair, because when you're 8 feet tall, you can, like, walk around, you know, it just looks like a peanut sticking out of you or something. Short people have to be more careful.
But I was chastised severely by my audience, who said you didn't ask the only question we wanted to know.
What?
And that was?
How she lost the weight after she had the baby.
Did she have stretch marks?
Oh. Okay, so...
Did you get stretch marks?
Do you want me to ask Elle if she had
No, no, I did follow up and ask her afterwards.
Do I? No, I don't. You know, it depends on the elasticity of your skin.
You didn't use anything particular?
I did. I used all kinds of things. I mean, every night I rubbed something different on my stomach. Cocoa butter and almond oil, and, you know, Kiehl's makes these great products. I mean, you know, it's good to moisturize, but at the end of the day, it is genetic, pretty much. You know, if your mother got them, you're probably going to get them, type of thing.
So is there any treat in terms of pregnancy that you missed out on? Did you have to stop eating this or drinking that?
No.
So it was a breeze?
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, the end is not a breeze, but I ate whatever I wanted.
The birth experience was tough?
Yes.
Do you sleep a lot?
No, I don't sleep enough. I have terrible insomnia. Like, my dream in life is to sleep for 10 hours. That would be so nice.
I ask this question because in Australia I do a lot of work for the Breast Cancer Awareness Foundation, and because I know, I believe your mother died of breast cancer. Do you take the appropriate precautions and have mammograms?
Yep, I do my own breast exams. I have a doctor I go to that, you know, examines me as well, and I have been having mammograms for the last couple of years, once a year, and ultrasounds, you name it.
So you really do look after yourself?
Yeah.
That would be very encouraging for a lot of women who don't take that sort of notice of their body.
You have to do other things too. You have to have a good diet. You have to take care of yourself.
I've got a couple of photos. If I can show you some images. And
then I have to say a word?
No, well, as many or a few words as you... They're images that I'd just like to get your first impressions on.
No, that's a courageous woman. That's what that makes me think of.
Courage.
Yeah.
Courage. Why do you think she did that?
Why did she allow to have her picture taken?
Mm-hmm.
Because I think a lot of people who have, you know, surgeries and, you know, illnesses, certain kinds of illnesses, people that have to go through chemotherapy, that lose their hair. I mean, I think there's a real stigma attached to that. And to see somebody like a famous, glamorous figure that people really look up to saying, I don't care and I'll have myself photographed this way, I think it takes a lot of courage.
You admire that? We've got a fun one here.
Oh, please. Wait, who's that?
He's actually our musical director. His name's Jeff Harvey.
Oh, okay.
You could say anything you'd like about him.
I think he needs to have his beard trimmed.
Well, Jeff.
Well, Kellyanne.
Look, it's advice from the world's most famous image maker.
Yeah, well, I don't know. I think there's some nice ladies in Australia. Oh, no. I think some nice ladies in Australia. Don't do it.
For nearly 2 decades, few celebrities have captured the public's attention like Madonna. Though the one-time material girl is in her 40s now, she still lives up to her reputation for defiance. But what is often overlooked is her enduring talent. Last year, she won a shelf full of Grammy Awards for her album, Ray of Light. Her new album, Music, is being released today, and the title song is already #1 this week on the record charts. But her most important achievements are her most personal and most private, her children. This summer, she gave birth to her second child, a little boy she named Rocco. And her daughter Lourdes, whom she calls Lola, is almost 4. But as Charlie Rose first reported last year, motherhood and middle age haven't really changed her. She's still Madonna.
So, can I see what I look like?
She invited us to her New York City apartment for this interview.
I'm too swallowed up by this chair. Okay, well, I'm not happy with that,
So let's change chairs. We quickly found out that her success has had little to do with luck.
The camera's up here, and I'm down here, and I look like a midget. Oh, I don't want to do this interview.
What?
I don't like it.
She doesn't leave much to chance.
No, I don't like that either.
Can you see yourself in here?
You'll never want to interview me again after this, I can assure you.
But her single-mindedness now has one distraction.
Oh, look who's here. Look who's here.
It's Lola, and for a moment, we glimpsed a portrait few have seen, Madonna and child. But she asked us not to show a close-up of her daughter's face on television.
Can I have a kiss? Kiss?
When she walks in this room,
Yeah, I stopped complaining.
yeah, it's everything. You're not worried about lighting anymore. You're not worried about being in control. You're just so
Well, I'm not working.
sheer joy.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah. Before her, it was mostly within yourself.
Before her, it was me, 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 me.
And now it's me, and her.
Me, 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 her, me, 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 me.
Yeah?
Yeah.
You can't say she's not honest. In fact, she has made no secret of her ambition from day one.
What do you hope will happen, not only in 1984, but for the rest of your professional life? What are your dreams? What's left?
To rule the world.
And she wasn't kidding. Madonna set out to conquer the world of pop music, and she did it. She now has her own record company and has made hundreds of millions of dollars over the years.
And the best pop album is Ray of Light, Madonna.
At this year's Grammy Awards, her talent was celebrated by her peers when she won 4 awards for her latest album.
And what about the Oscar? Is that your next goal, do you think?
That's right, baby.
She is also an actor whose roles are often reflective of her own image.
You don't know if you want to hit me or kiss me. I get a lot of that.
On stage, Even on network TV, what you see is what you get.
You are always with me on
This,
the show. You are always with me on the show.
My sense of you is...
That I'm argumentative?
Yeah, I get that. But that's good.
Confrontational?
Good. You like to bend the rules?
Push the envelope?
Push the envelope?
Yeah.
Suspicious?
Wary? Yeah.
Searching?
Searching? Yes. I want to know everything.
She has been like that since childhood. Born Madonna Louise Ciccone in Bay City, Michigan. She was one of 8 children in an Italian Catholic family. Madonna was named after her mother, but raised by her father, a strict disciplinarian. Her mother died of breast cancer when Madonna was 6.
It's like having your heart ripped out of your chest. Like a limb missing. The ultimate abandonment. It was such a great mystery to me where she went, and there was a part of me that was waiting for her to come back. So, you know, it's just a great sense of loss that you learn to adjust to, and you perhaps overcompensate in other ways for it.
So Madonna rebelled.
I grew up in a high school where it was very conservative, and I felt like people disapproved of me, and I felt like an outsider.
Why did you feel like that?
Oh, I don't know. I'm sure I brought most of it on. I mean, I stopped shaving under my arms and my legs, which is
Yeah.
pretty subversive behavior for a...
Rebellion even then?
Yes, well, I refused to wear makeup, and that's when girls are like going out of their way to sort of be
please,
attractive and please boys in school.
And you're going in the other way?
Well, no, I said, well, I'll be damned. They're going to have to like me with hairy armpits, or they're not worthy of me.
At 19, still scarred from the loss of her mother, she left Michigan for New York City.
You know, part of the reason I sort of shot out like a cannon out of Michigan and like left home at such an early age was because I had to feel independent. I had to make myself feel secure on my own. You know, I had to feel like I didn't have to rely on anyone for anything, because if you can feel this great sense of independence, then you can never feel that loss again. No one can abandon you.
Once in New York, it didn't take long for her to make her mark. A record deal followed, and so did the fans. Music videos helped make her a star of the MTV generation. She wasn't just famous, she captivated everyone's attention. She did it by challenging the boundaries of conventional thinking. And in the sensational new world of music videos, even the Catholic Church was not immune.
I made a black saint come to life in one of my videos, and then I kissed him on an altar. Now, if that isn't, you know, pushing the envelope, I mean, at least it seemed like it at the time. I guess not now.
There was even some talk of excommunication.
How did that make you feel?
Excellent. I mean, at the time, I was in, like, super rebellion mode. I mean, it's like, great, the establishment is against me.
I mean, here, this church that you grew up in,
Yeah, but I don't
and they want to
renounce
ban your
the
work.
church. Well, that's just typical, isn't it? In my opinion. I mean, you know, the Catholic Church needs to move into the 21st century. I mean, I'm all for rules and discipline and all of those things, but they have to make sense.
If it doesn't make sense, rebel.
Exactly. If it doesn't make sense, rebel until you find out why.
Eventually, her quest to break any taboo backfired.
Are you scared?
No.
Her sexual thriller, Body of Evidence, and her album, Erotica, were commercial disappointments. And her book, Sex, some think, simply went too far. She defended the book by calling it a joke, but people didn't laugh with her. They laughed at her. The public seemed to have had too much of Madonna.
It appeared you lost confidence. Did you? How you were doing? Your relationship?
I lost confidence in humanity. I thought that people were being unbelievably cruel to me for no reason. And when I lost confidence in not being able to feel like there was a certain sort of like level of behavior that I could depend on in other people, a certain decency. When I lost confidence in that, I began to lose confidence in myself, yes.
You punish me for telling you my fantasy.
Decency, of course, is hardly the first thing you expect from Madonna. Neither is humility. She refuses to publicly admit making any mistakes.
Tell me one. One.
No.
That you've learned a lesson from?
No.
You can't tell me one mistake that you've made that you think is because there's something wrong with acknowledging a mistake? Because it's like you regret doing it and you don't want to ever say you regret doing it because only by just trying things can you go forward.
The result of the good choices I've made and the bad choices. You know, and if I say I regret something or that I made a mistake, I wouldn't be who I am today. I don't want to have any sense of shame about it. And I don't want to have any sense of regret. Why should I?
Absolutely no regrets.
She even says she has no regrets about her tumultuous 3-year marriage to Sean Penn. But by her mid-30s, despite all she'd achieved, she admitted to herself that she remained incomplete. Madonna wanted to have a child.
Don't cry for me, Argentina.
During the filming of her Golden Globe-winning performance in Evita, she revealed that she was pregnant. Trainer, Carlos Leon, was the father. They didn't marry and are no longer together, but they share Lola.
Lola, would you like to be interviewed instead of me? Don't you have important things to say?
You do. Inside stories.
As with every other aspect of her life, when it comes to motherhood, Madonna defies your expectations.
Was she baptized as a Catholic?
Yes.
Explain that to me. You don't believe in this church. You've rebelled against this church.
Just wait a second. I can disagree with doctrines and dogmas and still celebrate them. I go to the synagogue. I study Hinduism.
But religion, is religion about picking and choosing what you want from religion? What is it about in the end?
It's about realizing that all paths lead to God in the end, and that everybody decided, over the years to sort of like segregate it and say, no, these are my rules. No, I believe that God came from here. No, I believe that Jesus was not the Son of God. No, I believe that this, and I believe in that. And the thing is, the point of studying all of it is that really they're all the same at the end of the day.
Because?
The core of it is the same. The core of it is the same.
What does that mean?
That love is the most important thing.
Looking at my life.
But the most important thing for Madonna right now is ending this interview. She has had enough, and of course, doesn't hesitate to say so.
I gotta go. I have to go.
You have to be quiet just for 30 seconds. Come on, be quiet.
You don't want to miss the beginning of the show.
Are you going to miss it? Okay, you don't care if you're making a nuisance of yourself.
Well, sometimes I do.
No, you don't.
Well, okay, I don't.
60 Minutes 2 will continue in a moment.
Oltre alla Festival del Pop, lei è un simbolo di intraprendenza, di coraggio musicale e comunque anche di indipendenza nelle scelte. E noi l'abbiamo registrata in questa breve conversazione con noi a Milano a novembre, a metà novembre, e lei è, pensate un po', la sua capa e si chiama Madonna. There she is.
Hi.
Hello.
Welcome to Ta-da-ta-ta. How are you?
I'm very well.
Yes?
Yep.
Let's go straight to the to this another incredibly successful year for you. A lot of awards and people enjoying your music once again. Did you expect it in first place? Did you think it was going to be such a great year?
Well, let's say I hoped it would be a good year, and I hoped that the record would be well received, but I don't have any expectations anymore because I've put out so many records and I've gotten so many different responses to different things I've done that it's impossible to know, how people are going to react to things.
Is it easy to always renew your image, character, music? Is it a hard thing to
No, because
keep up with?
It's always about being inspired in life and having new ideas and seeing new things that make you change your attitude towards life. As long as you stay alive and aware of the world around you, I think naturally you change. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But do you think there is a particular reason why everything you do eventually turns into fashion, style, something that people imitate? Is it just the responsibility of your personality, character?
Well, it's not a responsibility. It's just something I do. I love fashion and I love to change. So, I suppose, there are other people that influence culture as well, and fashion and things like that, and, I'm happy to be one of them.
Do you always have to work on your being Madonna? I don't think it's an easy thing to do. Well, you have to deal with a lot of things, I guess, which is not like what normal people would do.
Yeah.
Is it a very hard thing to do or not?
Is it hard to be me?
Well, I don't know. We can put it this way.
Well, listen, I'm very blessed. I'm very lucky. A lot of great things have happened to me in my life, in my career, but it came with a lot of hard work. So, like I said before, sometimes you have to do things you don't want to do, but ultimately I do love what I do.
There's a lot of spirituality in your music, very religious side of it, maybe. Where does it come from?
My spirituality? Well, it's definitely something that it's developed over the years. I mean, I was raised a Catholic. I've always been very interested in religious, but at the same time very rebellious against it, and very against organized religion and dogma, but still feeling like I was searching for my own personal spirituality. And over the years, through various studies and things that I've been interested in, I've come to realize that, spirituality is a very important thing. But I think you have to go through a period where you reject your past and you reject the way you were raised and you reject the dogma that was pushed on you, and then you find your own way. And that's been a very important part of my life, especially the last couple of years, and it's also been a source of inspiration for me in terms of my work.
What is the thing you hate the most?
The thing I hate the most? I don't hate anything, really.
Nothing. What is the
No,
thing you love
hate
the
is
most?
it's really a waste of time, hate. What do I love the most? My daughter.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Alicia, was that a big change in your life? How did it have a big impact, big influence?
Well, when you have a child, you don't think of yourself first anymore. So that's the biggest change. When you get up in the morning, the first thing you think of is someone else, not yourself. And I've lived, in a world that was, a very kind of self-absorbed world for so many years. It's all me, 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 me. But now it's not that way, and I must say it's a great relief to not have to think about myself.
Let's go back to the music. Is it going to be a tour for this album?
I'm seriously considering it.
Right.
I mean, I've been saying it and saying it and saying it, and I've been putting it off because there were movies that I wanted to do, but I am interested in doing a short tour, maybe 3 months next summer, so 99% sure.
Worldwide?
Yeah.
Right.
I'm sure I'll stop in Italy.
You started, a few years ago, you started this new business, which is Maverick, and your record company. And eventually it turned into a great success. And you discover talents like Alanis Morissette,
For instance,
like Deftones, like
Prodigy.
Michelle, and the Prodigy now in the US. Where does this need of scouting new artists came from? Where did it come from?
Well, I think that one of the things that inspires me is to find people that are talented and to nurture them and to watch them grow, to watch their effects on other people. I think it's been a real learning experience to work with artists on the other side, you know, to be the business person to the artist. But I think one of the reasons that my record label does well is because it's run by a person who has a good sense of creativity and also a good sense of business.
Right. How did you discover Alanis, for instance? Was it
I didn't discover her. My partner, Guy Osiri, I don't know, he got a tape from a friend of a friend of a friend. It was one of those situations, and it was a demo with a lot of the songs from the first album on it. And we heard it, and we were just blown away immediately by A, her songwriting skills, and B, her voice. And then we met her, and she was so young, and yet she was so mature for her age. So we knew right away that she was going to do well.
And she's going to be a star.
Yep.
We hope to see you at the show sometimes if you want to. And is there anything you want to say to Alanis? She's watching.
Good luck, baby. Sell some records.
Allora, volevo chiederti che cosa rappresenta quella signora che abbiamo visto lì, che cosa rappresenta Madonna per te? What does Madonna represent to you?
Another artist going for it.
So I'm sorry, I didn't hear it because people were screaming. Non ho sentito perché c'era la gente che urlava. Can you repeat?
Basically, Madonna is another artist that is creating and expressing her own unique expression, you know.
Vedi? Per lei Madonna è semplicemente un'altra artista che si esprime, che esprime il suo unico mondo artistico. Vedi? È tutto bello, nel suo mondo è tutto così, bravissimo. Lei mica va via, ma neanche voi andate via, perché noi ci prendiamo soltanto 180 secondi di pausa, poi sarà ancora trattata qui dal Paladozza, vero ragazzi? A tra poco.
This program is proudly brought to you by Ray of Light, Madonna's new #1 album.
Hi, I'm Ian Molly Meldrum, and welcome to our Madonna special. Now, a few weeks ago, I caught up with the lady herself, and we not only talked about her new album called Ray of Light, but we talked about life in general. We had a few laughs, we had a few tears. So without any further ado, let's go to Los Angeles and to Madonna. Well, listen, welcome to Australia yet again, via television. First of all, congratulations on the album. Must be very excited about this one, surely.
Yeah, I'm very fond of it.
Yeah?
Yes.
I was thinking about, you know, on the plane coming over, how long I'd known you, the good times, the bad times, the laughs and everything else. But you have weathered this very well, in so many ways.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, has it been hard?
Being famous?
Mm.
Well, it's taken me 15 years to sort of deal with it gracefully, I think. I mean, in the beginning, it's a rush. You don't know what you're in for. You're really excited. You say and you do things and you don't really care, you know what I mean? And then you go through the, you know, oh my God, you know, suddenly you have no privacy, no anonymity, and you become very bitter about it, and, you know, just want to tell everyone to, you know, F off. And now I feel like, you know, I've come out on the other side of it, and I just sort of have accepted it, you know what I mean? And I don't really fight it, and it's sort of there, and it's just it's just part of the whole deal.
I mean, that's what I love about this album. Your mood changes all the time. There's a track to...
Well, I'm a very moody girl.
Oh, God, you don't have to tell me that. I'm talking about great moods, you know. What were you looking for as producer of Madonna?
Well, first of all, I was a huge fan of all of Williams' earlier records, all Strange Cargo 1 and 2 and all that. And I loved all the remixes that he did for me. And I was interested in kind of fusing a kind of futuristic sound, but also using lots of kind of Indian and Moroccan influences and things like that. And I wanted it to sound old and new at the same time. And I thought that William Orbit's music pretty much embodied that feeling. And since I loved his remixes of mine so much, I decided just, you know, instead of giving him my song later when I'm done, why don't I just make the whole record with him?
Then you use one of your old friends in Patrick Leonard, who's come up with some ripper of the songs in the past and some fantastic songs on this, you know?
Yeah.
With Patrick Leonard, can I ask you, what has been your favourite track with him before?
That we ever wrote, ever?
Ever wrote.
Like a Prayer.
Yeah?
No question. Yeah.
Other tracks, favourite tracks. I mean, there's so many you wrote with him. Yeah. I mean, you wrote a whole album with him.
God, remind me of songs I did with him.
I'll give you the whole list if you like, you know. Spanish Eyes.
Yeah, that's beautiful. I love I'll Remember. I love that track.
The love that you gave me. Now that I'm standing on my own, I'll remember the way that you changed me. I'll remember.
Hanky Panky?
Love that, yeah.
That was a fun track.
Yeah.
Too cranky, you better like hanky panky. Nothing like a good spanky.
Bonita?
La Isla Bonita. Yeah, love that.
I mean,
that's up there with Like a Prayer.
Tropical on the island breeze, all of nature wild and free. This is where I long to be. La Isla Bonita.
I mean, let's take that track. I mean, if you take it back, that was sort of almost the pre-Evita of Madonna, way, way back, I guess, you know?
Yeah, there are no coincidences.
Doing Evita, and the wonderful visions and visuals, I should say, and the way that film panned out, it must have been fun when you talk about those rhythms, those sambas, and that, just to do that film,
music,
you know?
yeah. Well, I didn't, I usually try to get one song on every record that's got a bit of a Latin feel to it, and that's why that was one of the reasons also that I felt so compelled to do that movie, because just the whole connection with Latin music.
Don't cry for me, Argentina. The truth is I never left you. All through my wild days, my mad existence, I kept my promise. Don't keep your distance.
Secretly, now be honest with me here, were you able to go like that to the critics and to some of the people that have been real bitches to you about getting that wrong? Or did you think, no, I won't even think about it?
I never did that. No, I did it, I did the work, I was proud of the work, and I didn't waste any time thinking about the critics, because at the end of the day, they're still going to say shit about me, and I don't really care.
Madonna returns with her new single, Frozen. And now her brilliant #1 album, Ray of Light. Madonna, the #1 Australian album, Ray of Light.
Strike the pose.
What has been your favourite videos? Ones that you've really enjoyed, had fun with, and felt that they really did do something for you at the time?
Well, I had a great time doing Vogue, the video to Vogue, and I love that video, and also Take a Bow. I loved making that video. It's so much fun. Great time in Spain, and I love the way it ended up.
Say goodbye.
Human Nature.
Yeah.
I had a great time when I was doing my Material Girl video. I mean, like a virgin, most, with the exceptions of my last video and maybe a few more before that, I usually have a good time, yeah. But this last video, we were shooting in the desert, and it was so bitterly cold, we were all freezing. It's kind of like I go to the desert and have a mystical experience.
Yeah.
It's quite beautiful, but I'm all alone. And the day turns into night, and it's me and some birds and a dog. And it's very haunting.
Bold move to take Frozen as the first single?
Do you think? Yeah, I thought it would have been bolder to take some of the other tracks. I thought Frozen was like a good way to bridge the way people are used to hearing the sound to like the newer stuff. Yeah, I'm really lousy at choosing first single because I can't decide, and I love them all. So
the love of your life, is it? I believe there's a new
my
love
daughter.
Of your daughter, apart from your daughter, yoga.
Yes. Oh, yes.
Well, apart from there's another one as well, but the yoga.
Oh, there's so many.
Yeah. Has that really changed you?
Definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah. Physically, emotionally, spiritually, everything.
So when did you start getting into this? Was it the readings or what?
I started practicing yoga, well, I guess a couple months after I had my daughter. And then I found a really great teacher, and it just, now I just can't imagine going through the day and not doing it. It's completely changed my outlook on life, not just yoga, but it has had a huge influence on me. People have the wrong notion about yoga. I think people have two notions. They think you're like sitting there in the lotus position and you're saying Om and it's really boring and there's nothing going on. Or, or you're twisting yourself into a pretzel. And it's so much more about meditation, you know what I mean? And where, I won't bore you with it. You sort of have to do it to understand it.
No, what I find fascinating, and I've always found this fascinating with you, you never take on a thing 80% or 90%. It's almost 200%, you know?
If I like it, if I'm into it, yeah, I throw myself into it.
Well, you do. I mean, like when you were going to gym and getting up and training every morning, I mean, I defied anyone that could do that. And you'd have even late nights and could still be up there bloody 5 o'clock in the morning doing your thing, you know? Did that take anything out of you? I mean, to try, well, you were fit, to be fit all the time, to be that dancer, to be on the road and...
Well, I was...
physically you've changed a bit.
Yeah, and at that time in my life, it felt like the right thing to do, and I think I approached working with my body in a much more aggressive way. In retrospect, now that I'm doing yoga, I think that I actually did myself a disservice because the way I was working out drained me. It took away my energy, and yoga gives you back energy.
Everybody got the fever. That is something you should know. Fever isn't such a new thing. Fever's starting on you give me fever.
With your daughter, and being a mum, the emotion of having a child, it must be very strong and so sort of hard for you in some respects, you know? Is it?
Hard in what way?
Well, hard in the balance of giving so much emotion to the daughter, but still having the balance that, you know, of an ordinary child.
It is a real juggling routine to feel like I'm spending enough time with my daughter and also my work, because they're two really big passions for me. Obviously, my daughter's always going to come first, but I think it's important that she has a mother who's happy with herself and that's doing what she wants to do. Still, she's changed my life immensely. I have no free time.
Never forget.
You've embodied so many things, I mean, and certainly life itself, in so many different ways, in different sorts of people, different sex genres, etc., you know? Have you enjoyed all of that? I mean...
Well, it's been a real journey.
Yeah, it sure has.
Yeah.
Nothing to regret?
No.
No? If someone was to write a book on you, what would you hope would come out of that? Well, they have many, but I mean, the real book, I mean, I've had...
I'll write the real book, thank you very much.
Will you write the real book?
Yeah, when I'm 80.
Yeah?
And I will live that long.
Oh, we know that. Going right back to when I first met you in New York, and you were the fun girl, and there was all the boy toys and stuff and all of that.
I'm still a fun girl.
Oh, I know that, I know that. Is there things that you knew that you've had that you haven't been able to hold?
Oh, God, yeah.
That you really wanted to hold?
Yeah. There are things that I wanted.
I know way back, you know, but...
No, but even now,
Yeah.
I mean... Oh, yeah, I mean... And not just people, just situations that have, you know, slipped through my fingers. People, relationships, friendships, lovers.
Maverick label, good fun.
Yeah.
Probably the only artist to really have a successful record label. Many have tried.
Knock wood.
Well, it's good wood. Alanis Morissette, extraordinary success.
Yeah, here right now.
Yeah.
And we've got an artist coming out right now called Eva,
Yeah.
Swedish singer. I don't know if you've heard of her. And
Yeah, I believe she's fantastic.
yeah, and two other Swedish artists who are working on their albums right now. One is a group called Baxter and a group called Lucy Nation.
Yeah.
Brilliant, amazing.
Michelle.
She's also working on a new record.
If that's your boyfriend, if that's your boyfriend, if that's your boyfriend, he was the last night.
Yeah, everybody's in their little music factory right now. Yeah. I don't know what the Prodigy's doing.
Well, I mean,
We can only imagine.
That was a brilliant signing with
Yeah.
you, and was Guy was also involved.
Yeah,
with that,
Gaia
wasn't
Siri, yeah.
he? You found one of the best A&R men in America, just like that.
I'm a very lucky girl.
Absolutely. These are silly questions. I've never asked you them before. I'm going to ask you now.
You haven't asked me a question before?
Well, I've asked you silly questions, but I'm being silly now, right?
Okay.
Okay. What is in your makeup bag at the moment?
My makeup bag? Makeup. Most of it's half-eaten.
The reason I ask this is that Elizabeth Taylor was once asked if she was deserted on a desert island and she had to pick one thing out of her makeup bag, what would she pick?
I would pick my tweezers.
That's what she said.
Really? Oh,
That's exactly
good.
what she
God bless her.
Books you're reading at the moment, because you're an avid reader. I don't know when you get time to read all this, but...
I'm reading a book called Memoirs of a Geisha.
Yeah?
Have you heard of it?
No.
Oh, it's a true story about a geisha, who became like one of the most powerful geishas in Japan during World War II.
Right.
It's brilliant.
Future projects in filmmaking, what... I mean, I heard you may be doing something with Goldie Hawn, the
Yeah,
Chicago
I'm
project.
supposed to be doing Chicago. Nick Heitner's directing that, and that's probably not going to go until... Pre-production will start at the end of the year, but we won't start filming until next January.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to probably do a movie in the summer, a small movie, based on a true story about a brother and a sister, and then go on a small tour, and then do Chicago.
Right, right. On the touring side, what?
Like, what am I going to do on stage?
Well, no, I mean, are you going to go on tour? You're going to tour this album?
Mm-hmm.
Now, this will be different for you because surely with going to yoga, as opposed to when you were so into the gym and that.
Yeah, but I have more energy now.
You have? So you'll be able to dance.
Yeah, but who says I'm going to do that? I don't want to repeat
I'm not
myself.
asking. I'm not presuming these things, you know.
I mean, you can be sure I'll be moving around. I'm not exactly how I'll be doing it, but I think that the yoga and actually is going to help me with my endurance. Absolutely.
Obviously, you have to make America your home, and certainly, I mean, as the audience gets older, there's going to have to be a settled place for her. If you were really given,
like where would I go?
Yeah, and says, well, you've got to spend time here, you know.
I want to go to Cuba.
Cuba.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm dying to go there. I love Cuban music, and my daughters have Cuban. Why shouldn't I be able to go there?
Well, the Pope went there last week.
Exactly.
So he's one up on you there.
He is. There's 3 countries I'm dying to go to. I've never been. Cuba. No. Cuba, Ireland. And India.
Yeah? Why Ireland?
First of all, I have lots of really good friends from Ireland, and they're such incredible, soulful, passionate people. Second of all, I hear that Dublin is kicking. Have you heard that? I just hear that it's gorgeous, the countryside.
Yeah, it is. It's beautiful.
So, why not?
And India? Because of...
India, for lots of reasons.
Yeah.
I want to study with this yoga teacher who's in his 80s, who taught my yoga teacher. His name is Patabi Joyce. I want to go to Mysore and study there. And I want to travel around. I want to go to the palaces in the north. I want to... I mean, I love Indian culture and the clothes and the food and the jewelry and the jewelry and the jewelry.
What ambitions is left?
What ambitions? Well, I want to become a better actress, and I want to be a good mother, and I want to travel more, and I want to learn how to paint. That's enough.
Will you ever find the right man to marry?
Will I ever find the right man to marry? Oh, I don't even know if I believe in marriage. So I don't know about that.
Right. Well, to you, sort of like a Bette Davis thing, of one of her things. She once said, was it fasten your safety belt, it's going to be a bumpy ride or a rocky ride.
That too.
Have you ever released that safety belt at any stage?
I don't think I'm wearing a safety belt.
No?
No.
So you've never put it on?
No, that's why I've got so many bumps on my head.
Yeah?
I'm going to put you in the room, and
Yeah.
Madonna's going to come
Kom
into
into.
the room.
Dat is
Thank you.
Laten we de richting.
Dutch,
Nee,
nee,
nee, gedaan.
José.
José en Henny. We staan nu in de kleedkamer bij Madonna. Dan word ik zelf ook wel een little bit nervous, hoor. Ik ben een beetje nerveus.
Je houdt het niet voor mogelijk. Zo nice. Oh.
Ze komt zo elk ogenblik als ze binnenkomen, dames en heren.
Zo.
Ja, moet je al die cadeautjes geven, hè?
Ja.
Wat is ook weer een koffer, een suitcase? Of ik had het...
Ja, stil nou maar, want ik moet...
Ja.
Ik regel het wel.
Zij regelt het.
Doe jij nou maar rustig aan, want ik ken ze van binnen en van buiten. Je hoeft echt niet zenuwachtig te zijn.
Nee, okay.
Dit is het moment, dus daar hou je niet voor mogelijk. Hier ben ik nou al 10 jaar mee bezig en het is zo'n verrassing. En nu gaat ze komen, dus ik ga lekker cadeautjes geven voor de dochtertje. En je zult zien, dat gaat heel relaxed. Dat voel ik nou wel.
Dat voel je wel zo.
Wetten das, heute live aus Linz in Oberösterreich. Präsentiert unter vielen Simply Red. Madonna. Henny Huisman.
How are you? Fine, thank you. Hi, Madonna.
Hi,
nice to meet you.
Hello, Henny Huisman. Nice meeting you.
Hi.
This is the big Madonna fan, the biggest we had in Holland.
What's your name?
José.
José?
Yes.
Wow, it's nice to meet you. Should we go over there?
Okay.
Yes. Do you want to stand over here?
Yeah.
What's in there?
Yes, my artist name in Holland is Dutch Madonna. So I
Really?
already do for more than 10 years. So you can see how you look like.
Are you a singer also?
Yes.
You
I
are?
sing all your songs and I show you my CD with the look of you.
Okay, I'd love to see it.
Okay.
En de present. En
Okay.
het kaartje
Wait.
voorlezen.
Okay, just a minute. First, I gave you this. This is a card I made specially for you, Madonna, so you may open it. If I
could melt your heart.
Nice.
That's sweet. Thank you.
And then,
Oh.
yes, you may read it, or do you want I read it for you?
Father. No, I can read it.
Ze kan lezen.
Dear Madonna, this is for me, the nicest day of my life. Your mother and my father are already in heaven. Yes, we have missed them very much. I know what you are feeling. Thank you for this nicest moment in my life. I can make for you wall paintings, oil paintings, portraits, Renoir, Monet. Well, I'm very happy to hear that. How about Picasso? Can you do Picasso?
En de present
Okay.
voor de
Yes, then...
voor de kind, hè?
dit ding valt eraf. Kijk
From
eens
the
even.
nervous, the hele battery is er. Even kijken. hoor.
Then I show you, if you like it, I give you...
cadeautje voor de...
Ja, dat komt nog.
Yes.
So I started just looking like you.
Wow.
She's a real big fan.
And
She is.
all my songs. So if you like it, you may have it.
Do you sing on this?
Yes.
You do? Wow.
Yes,
I'm very
and then
impressed.
my second record was this, the Dutch Madonna, and it was especially with Christmas, Take a Bow. And I always sing that.
Do you sing it in Dutch?
No, in your language.
In English?
Take a bow, the night is over.
Right.
You like it?
En nou even,
And
want ze
then-
moet straks nog op, hè? bij
Oh
de-
yes, then for your little daughter, Lourdes Maria,
Yeah.
I have this blue elephant.
Wow, thank you so much. Very unusual looking elephant, I must say.
No. So,
Sorry to interrupt, but we're going to have to bring Madonna in
Of
time
course.
for her to perform.
Okay. Of course.
So just if you could
Just
just
if I
finish
may
up.
give this, you see my
Yeah.
henna, it's plastic,
Oh,
so
right.
you can use that
Wow,
on
thank
your
you.
arm.
If you want, of course.
Yeah, you want. I
No,
don't
no
for the
niet.
show.
Even zo.
Not for the show, but
Not
maybe
the show.
tonight when I'm riding in the
Yeah, of
airplane.
Yes? Okay,
Yeah, of course.
thank you.
All right. That's it, gewoon. Want hij
Okay.
moet optreden, heeft een
Yes.
performance te doen.
Koffer.
Zo.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
Right.
Okay, goodbye, good luck.
Can we also make a picture together? Is it
Okay.
possible, yeah?
Yes.
Okay.
You have to hurry.
Yes.
Here, I'll just...
Und nun begrüßen Sie den Gastgeber des Abends, Ihre Linzer Torte, Thomas Gottschalk. Guten Abend.
Schönen guten Abend. Wir haben einen Gast aus Holland da. Herzlich willkommen. Das ist Mr. Hausmann, ein großer Kollege von mir. Guten Abend. Er ist nicht alleine da. Er hat nämlich eine Dame dabei, deren Herzenswunsch es ist, Madonna zu treffen. Heute Abend ist es soweit. Guten Abend.
Your heart is not open, so I must go. The spell has been broken. I loved you so. Freedom comes when you learn to let go. Creation comes when you learn to say pray to God that it won't be long. We wanna go higher. There's nothing left to try. There's no place left to hide. There's no greater power than the power of goodbye. Your heart is not open, so I must go. The spell has been broken. I loved you so. You were my lesson I had to learn. I was your portrait. There's nothing left to lose. There's no more heart to bruise. There's no greater power than the power of There's nothing left to try. There's no more places to hide. There's no greater power than the power of goodbye. There's nothing left to lose. There's no more heart to bruise. There's no greater power than the power of
It in your hand, for Christ's sakes. Come here.
Would you like a glass of water?
Just look into my eyes. You, here. We're gonna go here, then we're gonna go there. Come to me. Like that? Is that better?
You know, there's a hole there.
I know, which is why I zipped it up. But you can't see the hole. Look at the monitor.
In Britain, people assume that's come from a hot rock.
Well, what are you doing? You're screwing everything up.
Oh, it's Mr. Sound.
You're trying to touch my breast.
Did he do it with the classic back of the hand trick? It's classic, isn't it? Back of the hand, nipple, and come on. It's just classic, isn't it? What do I call you?
My friends call me M.
Just M.
Mm-hmm.
That's nice. That's quite South London. Just using the first letter.
Yeah.
Quite South London gangsters do that.
Oh, well, good. I want to be associated with gangsters. Where are you from?
Barnet.
Barnet.
It's kind of North London. Suburban.
Okay. Nice accent.
First thing, well, very nice to meet you.
Very nice to meet you.
Now, this is your first television interview in Britain for years.
Yeah.
You've had a child, you've turned 40, and now you've had a best-selling, award-winning album. You must be feeling pretty good about life.
I'm feeling excellent.
Okay. Does it give you great satisfaction when people have written you off? And I've looked kind of back, and there's loads of times when people seem to write you off, and then you come back and answer your critics.
Yeah, I've sort of been putting up with that for my entire career, so now I sort of expect it. Gives me a bit of a challenge.
And I was thinking, well, all that's left must be just sort of answering critics. Does that ever motivate you?
In terms of work, that's not all that's left. What drives me is that I love what I do, and I know that the criticism is part of the package. And at the end of the day, I think if everyone just universally decided to like me, I would probably at this point think that I was doing something wrong. You know, I think rubbing people the wrong way is, to a certain extent, is a good thing.
Rubbing people the wrong way is a good thing.
Mm-hmm.
It's a good note. I remember that. I just remember to piss a few more people off. Okay. Madonna says, piss people off.
No, that's not what I mean.
I know you mean. Okay. The thing is, you said you're quite happy with life at the moment, and yet, if I listen to the album, it's quite melancholic. It is sad in there.
Well, I think I exercised a lot of my sadness through my writing, and I'm a very sentimental person. I'm a romantic. I can get really melancholy at times, and I think I work a lot of stuff out when I write. I think most people do.
Cathartic
Get it out of my system.
You're quite a romantic, would you say?
Completely, hopelessly.
Would you ever go for sort of big romantic gestures? Do you go for things like that?
Oh God, yeah. And when they are bestowed upon me, it's a great thing.
What's the most touching romantic gesture you've had?
God. Well, one time I was coming out of the recording studio, and I was going to get into my car, and I opened the door for my car, and it was completely filled with flowers.
Good gesture.
That's beautiful, isn't it?
Can we say who did it?
No.
Or doesn't he deserve it?
No, I'd just rather not say.
I'd rather not
but
say.
it's a very romantic gesture.
That's a really romantic gesture.
Yeah, and I like things like that.
You like things like that?
Yeah.
So
I'm very old-fashioned.
I know you. Wow, I always thought of you as really modern.
No, that's really, I am. That's the thing about me. I'm a contrast. Or a contradiction. I like a lot of really old-fashioned things. I'd rather have my entire house lit by candlelight. But I like really futuristic-sounding music.
Your life has been chronicled blow by blow pretty well for 18 years. Do you ever stop and think, how am I going to get out of this?
Get out of what, my life?
Well, get out of the kind of the world you created for yourself there, where everybody knows you.
Well, first of all, everybody doesn't know me. They know certain aspects of me. And second of all, there's lots of ways that I get out of it. I mean, when I'm on promotional tours, or I'm on a tour, or I'm doing things that are very public, that's just one part of my life. I have a lot of private time, and I have a lot of homes that I go to where people leave me alone.
I was thinking, where can she get off a plane and think, ooh, I'm anonymous here? But actually...
where I grew up, in Michigan, in the Midwest.
Really?
Oh, please. People could give, two shits about me there. Can I say that on TV?
You just did. Fine.
Okay. And to a certain extent, Los Angeles, people really leave you alone because there's so many celebrities in the city, and then, it's sort of like people are used to it, so you get left alone.
The thing I read recently, you don't particularly like LA. Well, I mean, what's your sort of, what's somewhat your life when you're in LA?
Well, it's not the most, culturally rich city that you could go to, but you can get lost in LA because it's not a pedestrian town. You have to have a car to get anywhere, and people are very separate from each other. So you do get to have a lot more privacy there because of that.
It's just into the car off. They're not used to kind of walking amongst fellow humans,
no,
which is an odd thing, 'cause we've got
which I miss if I'm there for very long. But it's a quiet place with a lot of really ugly houses, and you can get a lot of sleep there.
Which is nice.
Yes.
Isn't it?
Sleeping is good.
Sleeping is a good thing. Okay. Do you still go out at all to clubs and dancing? And where do you go and what sort of nights do you have?
I don't really go out that much anymore because what happens is if I go out on the dance floor and start dancing, a circle inevitably forms around me, and then suddenly I have an audience. And then suddenly I feel like I'm working, and then I want to go home.
That must be actually one of the most dreadful experiences, I think.
But I go to private parties where there's dancing.
And do they still form a circle, or is everyone
No, because it's usually all my friends.
Yeah, but I know. Did you used to love clubs, I presume?
Totally, that's where I started out. I mean, that's where I played my earliest demos. Used to hang out with DJs in the DJ booth, and it was great fun.
Would it be a fair assumption that you, I mean, as the song says, Drowned Well, that you have traded fame for love?
Well, that song is really kind of a reflection, looking back at my past and sort of the path that my career took, and to a certain extent, when you become famous, if you do trade one kind of love for another kind of love. You trade universal love or approval from the masses for intimacy with maybe one person.
Did you know you were kind of making that trade at the time,
I didn't.
or was it not till after?
No, it was very,
There's never a kind of, what I'm saying is there's never a kind of pact with the devil moment.
No,
Like,
because absolutely not. I wasn't aware. I mean, nobody knows what fame is going to do to them, and nobody knows how successful they're going to be when they start off in their career, but it's very heady. You know, it's a very heady thing to, like, hear, like, hundreds and hundreds of people standing outside your hotel room window chanting your name, or entertaining 100,000 people in a soccer stadium and feeling the you know, the intense feelings that they have.
I can understand how the soccer stadium experience would be good, but I find that the chanting outside
No,
the hotel...
it's irritating. It's irritating, but the thing is, you're kind of... All I'm trying to say is, what happens is, suddenly everyone wants you, and everyone wants you to be here and be there and do this and do that, and you can get very caught up in it. It's very seductive. But in order to do that, you end up sacrificing time with, you know, perhaps a relationship or a one-on-one situation, or even nurturing your friendships.
Okay, well, let's have a look at the song now, Drown World. Here it is. Does I sound like a DJ when I do that?
No.
Good. Okay, the line from Drown World I've got down here. Had so many lovers who settle for the thrill of basking in my spotlight.
Yeah.
Do you think you're...
Did you have to go to that line?
No, but do you think you have been attracted to the wrong people? Are you attracted to the wrong
Haven't we
people?
all been? I mean, has every one of your relationships
to a lesser
been...
extent, isn't it? I'm saying, do you feel that...
It's hard, you know, it's hard to know sometimes. You have to be really careful. You know, a lot of people have agendas. And if you've been hurt or betrayed a few times, you start to, like, you know, you start relationships, and you know, you find yourself, like, watching and waiting and listening for things where, you know, people might be indicating that they have ulterior motives.
What are the tells? When do you think, oh dear, this is another wrong one?
Oh, I suppose one of them is when they're really interested in having their picture taken with you every time you go out.
Right, that's a bad one.
That's a bad one. Stage 2 is when they send the faxes you've sent them to the National Enquirer.
Bad.
That's very bad.
Yeah.
It's a very bad sign. Yeah.
And then stage 3, presumably that's it, they've gone after the faxes.
Well, stage 3 is you know, hire an assassin and
right.
They're killed, basically.
It's the only way, isn't it?
Yeah.
Murder. South London, we read it. Okay. Do you think it was a case of that you're equipped to deal with the intrusion into your life, but your lovers must be really surprised with it? It's almost like they've suddenly gone straight into the fast lane.
It is an adjustment to make. It is. You have to be, you know, strong and self-confident.
When you're out with someone who hasn't obviously experienced anything like you experienced just on a...
Well, not many people have.
Yeah, exactly.
So that basically covers everyone I've been out with. What are you asking me?
I don't know, I just wanted to carry on talking about it. I was just quite enjoying
well, you
myself.
just want to talk about my love life.
Yeah, well, yeah, no, not really. I find it just what it must be like for a chap.
I think it's really
being
difficult.
so eclipsed by the woman they're going with, sort of in that way, and
I think it's difficult, but like I said, you know, you have to have a sense of your own identity and more importantly, just self-confidence and really being able to put things in perspective. It's just for that moment. It is not, you know, it's not the most important, it's not the founding basis of the relationship. If you love me, then you have to sort of accept that part of my life and be able to deal with it. But I didn't, you know, you don't have to like it, okay?
No. Okay. As you got more famous, did you find yourself trusting people less? Or just being naturally suspicious of everyone's motives? I've gone off the
No, actually, I'm not a naturally suspicious person. It's probably a fault of mine. I think I have a pretty good built-in bullshit detector with people, but I've made mistakes. And it still, you know, hasn't stopped me from being an open person. So.
How do you ensure you're getting that honesty when, in a lot of your relationships, you are the boss? I'm not talking about...
You hire intelligent people. Intelligent people aren't going to bullshit you and you hire confident people, because the people that lie to you are the people who are afraid they're going to lose their job if they tell you the truth, and then there wouldn't be another job. Now, an intelligent, talented, confident person would say, well, if telling the truth gets me fired, then that's too bad, and I can get another job. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So.
There's more. I would think it was their fear of, say, if I say that, she's just going to go mad. I can't tell her that. She's just going to go mad.
Well, listen, I hear lots of dissension from people that work for me, and
so you do have that around you.
Absolutely. You know, people tell
me,
me, you know, that doesn't look good on you, or, you know, you should do that vocal again. It wasn't right. It wasn't good enough. You can do better than that. Yeah, and I want that. If everyone was always sitting around going, yeah, that's great, I would be highly suspicious.
It's one of the many images of you that's kind of been pumped at us, isn't it? As someone who sort of presides over an empire where people...
I do preside over an empire.
I know, you know, but they sort of say, oh, they're all quite frightened of her.
Yeah, listen,
you don't want to be doing that.
Can I just tell you something? You can't be...
Madonna's going to go mad.
Well, you cannot be successful if you're surrounded by yes men or yes women. I always want other people's input. You can't go wrong if you surround yourself with other smart people.
Yes, okay.
No,
not yes men. No, I mean the other way around, you know what I mean? Okay.
Yes and no and maybe men.
Yeah, yes and no and maybe men. Yeah.
Okay, did we satisfy your curiosity?
You satisfied all my curiosity. I tell you what, I'm now going to ask you a question which is designed to hold people over the break. You don't have to answer it when we come back, okay? Who, in your opinion, either by experience or reputation, is the world's hottest lover? We're back in a couple of seconds.
Oh, dear.
Who is the best? Who is the best lover?
That's right.
Okay, that's brilliant. Thank you very much. It's a good question. It's a very good question. Who's the best shag?
Or, if not, give them my number.
Just give you a number. Okay. Who's the best... Okay, so that was the question. Would you like to answer it?
Absolutely not.
Okay, fantastic.
Okay.
I went out today because I was thinking, what shall I ask?
You went out on the street and asked people?
Yes.
Oi.
I went out on the street and I went out and I vox pops loads of people. I asked loads of people questions.
I'll just say no if I don't want to answer.
Okay.
Everything for free, what does she pay for?
If she gets everything for free, what does she pay for?
That's so not true. First of all, Prada doesn't give me anything for free.
Don't they?
No.
They must do now. You've name-checked them on a big show.
They're so cheap. I get freebies from some stores, but not from other stores.
Do you want to thank all those freebie people now, just to ensure they continue to...
Yes, I would love to thank Versace, Gucci, Dolce & Gabbana, Alexander McQueen, John Galliano, oh shit,
you do a lot of shopping.
Gautier.
So, but the answer to the question is you don't get everything for free at all. You have to pay for... You'd have to pay for any of those.
I had to pay for these shoes. The rest of what I'm wearing, I didn't have to pay for.
Okay, there we go.
Yeah, but I'm doing them a favor. The designers, I mean. Because everybody, you know, they see the clothes and they want them too. Yeah. So, I'm a sales rep. In my spare time.
I'm just a sales rep. Yeah. That's what you do, you just go around the world repping.
That's right.
Okay.
What's your favourite dessert?
What's your favourite dessert?
Well, I love desserts. See, my favourite dessert is this dessert they have at the Ivy. Have you eaten that?
Yeah, I eat.
Okay, what's that? Sticky toffee something or another?
Probably sticky toffee pudding.
Yeah, that. Oh my God, that's so
incredible.
Good, isn't it?
It's
sinful.
Did you have it with custard, or did you have it with a bit of cream?
I don't know, but it just has to have a lot of that goopy, syrupy stuff on it. It's so good.
Yeah, it's a good one, isn't it?
Yeah.
Actually, you can get it in tins here in just regular corner shops.
You can?
Yeah, you can get a really good Heinz sponge. Marvellous.
Okay. Did you used to be a boxer?
No, but I've been hit a lot.
Did you get your nose broken?
Yes.
Okay.
No, it's terrible. It's like...
No, I mean, no, it's a good look. Don't do that.
Sorry. It's not good up there.
Maybe you should get someone to hit you on that side and it'll straighten it out.
Straighten it up?
Yeah.
But it is in shadow there. If a man...
Uh-huh.
And that's it for that question. That's all I'm doing.
And the answer is no.
I wish I was that deep. I'm quite a shallow individual.
Let's stick to the shallow thing.
Okay, let's stick to that. It's better, isn't it? Do you think it sits better with me? Okay. If a man achieves your level of fame, he's almost seen as a genius.
He's what?
But if a man achieves your level of fame and notoriety, he's almost seen as a genius. But if a woman does it, she's seen more as being lucky or a manipulator. Is there still... Do you see that double standard? And would you like to now share that with the group?
Yeah, to a certain extent. I mean, I think that our society is a bit intimidated and naturally suspicious of women who are incredibly successful, famous, rich, whatever you want to call it. They have to sort of find things. Oh, she didn't do it by herself. Oh, she slept her way to the top. Oh, she can't really sing. Oh, she doesn't do this. Oh, she'll be over with in a minute. Oh, she's stupid. Oh, blah, 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 you know.
You've had all those?
Yeah. Yeah, and I do
What
think,
hurts the most
I do
of
think
all
that
this?
there is a double standard in our society, but it hasn't held me back now, has it?
Of the kind of charges that have been levelled against you over the years, which one kind of pisses you off the most over the years? Which one that keeps cropping up is just like really gets you thinking?
The one that's.
Why you're a
I think the one that bothers me the most is that the relationships that I have with men aren't substantial relationships. I hate it when they call my boyfriends my boy toys. That is so irritating. And
demeaning.
Demeaning to me, demeaning to them, and I just don't stand for it.
I'd ask her about, you know, the British press.
The
Ask
British
them if
press?
they, you know, if they're really as bad as people say.
Because she travels the world, she witnesses all different... Are the British press the worst in the rest?
Absolutely.
OK, nice one, I shall ask her that.
They're certainly a lot kinder than they used to be.
Are they? Do you think they've mellowed?
Definitely. Oh, yeah.
Oh, I don't know whether they feel disappointed or relieved.
Well, I'm relieved.
It's relieved, yeah.
Yeah. I'm relieved.
But you think they used to be a lot worse?
Yeah. Yeah, because I think they just saw me sort of acting out and being rebellious, and I think I was an easy target, and I didn't know how to handle myself in all situations, but I've gotten better at it through the years. And, you know, in a way, it's sort of like, oh, well, you know, 15, 16 years have gone by, and we haven't, like, beaten her down to the ground yet. She survived.
She's
okay,
still going.
We haven't kicked the shit out of her. Okay, so we'll let her, you know, let her off the hook.
You think that's what they kind of thought? Yeah, I suppose it must be, after a while. They've done what they've given it their best
They couldn't
shot,
say anything worse than they've already, I mean, I've had everything leveled at me, so.
Okay, did we ever get to a saturation point with you where there was nothing else to know?
Oh, please, I've revealed very little about myself, in truth.
Do you think?
I know. Do you think you know me?
Well, not now I started talking to you.
Well, there you go. You think that, the thing is, I have revealed certain things, certain aspects of my character. You can't help but reveal yourself through your work, through your art, music, whatever that might be, but there's no way that that's the sum total of me. And, you know, people don't really know anyone unless they sit and start talking to them. So.
But I've noticed I've maintained the eye contact. I appreciate that.
I do. How could we do an interview if you couldn't look at me?
Well, something. Do you ever get that shifty interviews?
Oh, yeah.
Shifty interview.
They don't go very well. What sign are you?
Me?
No, the guy sitting behind you.
I was born in Barnet.
Shut up. What sign are you?
Cancer.
Cancer.
Well,
What's your birth date?
16th of July.
Okay. Thank you.
Well, what have you logged there? Because you go...
No, well, cancers, they're very emotional people.
Are they?
Yeah, very sensitive.
I'm always accused of being really stoical and unemotional. That's quite weird.
Well, maybe your moon is in Virgo.
Well, moon's in my trousers. Okay. What's your star sign? Incidentally, I never normally ask people that. It always sounds like such a cheesy chat outline.
My sun sign is Leo, and my rising sign is Aquarius, and my moon is in Virgo. And people who have, you know, the moon rules your emotions.
Does it?
Yes, and so if you have a tendency to sort of play your cards close to your chest, you know, and you have a tendency to be a bit withholding and careful with your love, then you know, is that you?
Well, my Auntie Hillary's a Virgo.
Yeah, but are you withholding? Let's get back to you.
I probably do, actually, a little bit. Well, no, except to those that know me.
Let's ask another question.
Okay. When most people turn 40, they start going to the gym. When you turned 40, you stopped going to the gym.
Well, right around the time I had the baby. I worked out until the last day, the day I gave birth, I was working out in a gym. Desperate to push that baby out.
Okay.
And then after I had the baby, I never worked out again.
Okay, do you think you go back to the gym, or do you now see it as quite a boring place?
Huge waste of time.
Do you see all that time jogging and gymming as a real...
Huge waste of time.
Oh, God, I've never done any.
You haven't?
No, never.
You should do yoga, though.
Do you think it's all right?
It's excellent for suppleness, toning not only your body, but your internal organs. And yoga will keep your body healthy and lithe and youthful till you're 80.
Age gracefully.
What do you think?
Well, I was asking you.
Well, what do you think?
Well, no, I wouldn't know.
Well, I've been aging before your very eyes.
Yeah, but I meant later on. Not now.
Okay, well, I certainly...
You know what I mean?
Oh, you mean when I'm 80 and I've got blue hair?
60 up
Okay,
50
I
up
certainly hope I do.
Cher age.
Cher, I think she's aged very gracefully.
Well, yeah, I just meant her age. I didn't say she didn't age gracefully.
Okay, yes.
think we're all out of that one. Whoa there. No one's dissing Cher. Okay. Yeah, okay. I'd now like to talk about Lourdes. How has Lourdes changed your life?
She's aging gracefully.
Is she aging gracefully, is she?
Yes.
Looking good.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
She's changed my life in a million ways. She brings me incredible amounts of happiness and joy. Just to look at her makes me smile. When there is so much insanity out there and people are picking at me and I have a tendency to sort of get annoyed by those things, all I have to do is look at her and I go, oh, right, that's what's important. That's what matters.
Is that like the centre of your life now?
Yeah.
It's quite palpable and
and it's real.
Yeah.
Yeah. She's a child. I'm her parent. I'm responsible for her. And that is the most important thing.
Because I bumped into Mum today in Trafalgar Square. She's carrying 2 kids. And I said, what would you like to ask Madonna?
How does she find parenthood?
How does she find parenthood?
It is hard to have the career I have and have a child and try to have a relationship. I mean, it requires an enormous amount of organization and very little free time and very little sleep. And you know, one area is always suffering. You know, if I'm working too hard, I think, oh my God, I'm not paying enough attention to my daughter.
Do you remember those old plate spinning acts?
Yeah, you do have to do a plate spinning act. You know, it's like,
yeah,
whatever.
I don't know why people did that, and we always used to be really impressed.
Well, it was a metaphor for, you know, working mothers.
Yeah. You just get that one really wobbling. I was going, oh, he doesn't see the one on the end. He's just only run down there.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I'd ask her why she's got Marilyn Monroe's tattoo on her bum.
Has she got Marilyn Monroe tattooed on her bum? You know that?
Supposedly.
Supposedly.
Who?
Someone asked, has she really got Marilyn Monroe tattooed on her bum?
Do me a favor.
And you got big tats?
I've got no tattoos.
You never had a tattoo?
No, not one.
Cher's got tattoos.
So?
Will she have any more children?
Will she have any more children? Yeah. That's a good point, isn't it? Because she's had one. Will she go on? Will she have a big family? Nice. What's your name?
Who?
Thank you very much, Cher. That's a good question.
I hope so. I'd like to have another.
Would you like to have, like, loads?
No. No.
Okay. With the death of Diana, you're the most famous woman in the world, I would say. Arguably.
What about Hillary Clinton?
Yeah, okay. One of the most famous women in the world.
Okay.
How did obviously you've been pursued by the press, she was pursued by the press, some would say driven to her death by the press. How did you feel about her death?
Well, I thought it was a tragic waste of a life. I mean, and the way that it happened was so awful, and interesting, sort of poetic way to die. Certainly in her case, when you saw that she was so hounded by the press and seemingly so unequipped to deal with it. You know what I mean? So it does sort of seem like they killed her. Obviously, that's not exactly what happened. But how did I feel? I was devastated, like everyone.
Obviously, the last year's been interesting because of the death of Diana, and also we had Monica Lewinsky. What do you think about Monica Lewinsky, and what do you think of Monica Lewinsky as a person?
I can't judge her as a person. I don't know her. I only know what I read about, and we know how misleading that can be.
Oh, beautifully acquitted.
So... But that said...
But we can tell a little bit about her as a person.
Well, I think she's probably learned several lessons in the past few months. Being discreet would be one of them. You know what I mean? But there is so much about the situation I'm sure I don't know about, so it's hard for me to judge it. I think it's a tragedy that the media's, you know, turned it into such a circus. And made such a big deal about, you know, a politician lying, because after all, that is what they do. So.
Well, I think they always wanted to kind of match up to some standards of a bygone age that actually never existed.
Excuse me, what standard? Every president cheated on his wife.
Well, that's been my point.
You know, and they hold, you know, John Kennedy up like, you know, he's a god. I mean,
guy was a legendary swordsman.
Please. Totally.
Couldn't keep it in his trousers.
So they say, but he was gorgeous.
Were you find?
I found him gorgeous, yes.
What about Bill?
No.
Can you see the attraction of Bill?
Yes, power is a great aphrodisiac.
You buy into that?
Well, it's just the fact of life.
Okay, okay. Should Clinton be impeached? Should he? Do you think he should
No,
go?
that is, okay, what he did is between him and his wife, really. I don't think it has anything to do with his ability to lead a country. I think he's actually done some really good things for America. I had to think about that. I couldn't remember what country I was
Yeah, for Mexico. He's a good Mexican citizen. Bien, Peter.
Don't make me laugh.
Do you
It's
think-
an interview and it's serious.
Sorry, but you think he's still a good man, still a good leader?
I think he's brilliant, and I totally support him.
You think he's brilliant?
Yeah. You want to arm wrestle?
No, but you think he's brilliant?
Yeah, I think he's brilliant.
But he's got a fibber, though, isn't he? He is a,
Oh, yeah? Who isn't?
But there must be one righteous
You're
guy.
a fibber, probably, too.
Oh, I lie a bit, yes.
So what? Should we rake you over the
But
coals
I'm
for
not
it?
relying on people to vote for me, am I? I'm not saying.
Yeah,
I'm
you
not
are.
standing there
You're
as a paragon of virtue.
He isn't either. Why does a president have to be, morally perfect and pure? No.
Well, let's vote in Charles Manson.
Well, excuse me, but no human being on this earth is perfect, okay? He made a mistake. So what? Let's move on.
Okay. So you think he should stay in power, he's fit to hold power?
Yeah.
Fine. I was just being provocative. I think he's all right.
I know you are, and I'm not falling for it.
Okay. Not for a second.
Not for a second.
Oh,
Come on. She's one of the most interesting women on earth. You must have something you want to ask her.
Is she coming to London?
Is she coming to London or is she going to move here?
Does she have a house here?
Is she going to move to London?
I think I could. I just have to find the right house. Desperately looking. I haven't found one yet.
You're looking for a gaff in London?
Yeah, a gaff.
Which sort of areas are you looking to? If you
I'm
need
not
any
saying.
advice,
I'm not saying.
They'll find out.
I know, but for the first few weeks I move in, I could have some peace. Right?
Okay.
Okay.
What do you like about London?
Oh, lots of things.
That's the kind of incisive questions I ask.
I love English humor. I love the architecture. I love the street culture here. I love the music, fashion. I have some incredibly interesting, eccentric friends that live here. And I find it very stimulating.
Okay. What do you enjoy?
I think people as a whole tend to be a lot more educated and intelligent in Europe as opposed to America. Even stupid people here are smarter than Americans, basically. I mean, there are always exceptions. Yeah. I mean, everyone knows.
Whoa there,
people
before
know
you
about
call my
things.
country intelligent.
No.
We've built up quite a rep for mindless acts and all.
Yeah, but it's the education system is different here than it is in America, and people really know a lot more about history and classics and art and literature and things than they do in America.
Would you like to raise Lourdes here rather than in the States?
Yeah, I would actually, but I don't know if I can.
Why?
Well, because her father lives in America, and I want her to, you know, have a life with her father. So,
that is that's going to be quite a tough decision. Well, no, you probably already made the decision.
It is a tough decision. I haven't made it. It's just something I'm thinking about. But the thing is, I still want to have a house here because I come here all the time and I can't stand staying in hotels. So.
What do you like about hotels? Hotels are great, aren't they?
Ugh, not with a baby.
Huh?
No. My daughter likes to draw on the walls.
Yeah, you see, they hate that in good hotels, don't they? They come as crowd everywhere.
Yes.
Funny drawings of mummy, things like that. Does it trouble you, the amount of column inches spent on talking about your changing image when there's so much kind of more important things to discuss in the world?
I'm used to it. Every time I do, change my haircut or my hair color, it seems to be like headline news.
Do you enjoy scheming? Do you enjoy kind of sitting there scheming up your next look?
But I don't scheme my next look.
No, you don't? Don't you ever sort of think?
No, it's really, for me, it's really impulsive. I'll get up in the morning and go, you know what? I'm sick of having blonde hair. I want dark hair. Bam, I change it. Then I'll get up in the morning and go, you know what? I'm sick of having long hair. I'm going to cut my hair.
It really is as simple as that?
Yes. I think that people are under the misconception that I spend, hours and hours and hours plotting and planning my next outfit or my next...
That's what they like to think, and you sort of with loads of advisors all around
No.
the table going, with lots of swatches of fabric and looks. And,
No.
Drawings and sketches, but it's nothing like that. It's just
No.
you look and think,
You can't get good looks that way anyway. The best things are the things you don't plan, as you know. You do know that.
Well, some of the, actually the worst things I've ever done have been unplanned, frankly, as well.
Yeah, but you have to take risks and you learn from your mistakes.
If I was you, I'd be really soft with the word reinvention. If I was you, I'd have a gun to hand.
If one more person asked me how I keep reinventing
And
myself.
maybe both barrels, give it to them.
Mm-hmm.
Why haven't you made a film since Evita?
Because I haven't been offered one that was good enough.
Okay. Would you like to do another musical ever, or would you?
I'd love to.
Okay.
If it was good enough.
It was good enough.
Yeah, good enough. That's the key word.
Okay. You haven't got a film in mind that you're kind of sort of mentally looking for sort of...
Yeah, there is a movie that I'm most probably going to do.
I detected that.
Well, I waited for you to ask. I don't like to volunteer information because my moon is in Virgo.
Like my Auntie Hillary.
Mm.
But so you have got a part in mind or something in mind with this film that you're sort of looking for?
No, it's happening.
It's happening?
Yeah.
Do you want to tell me what the name is?
It's called The Next Best Thing.
It's called The Next Best Thing.
Do you know Rupert Everett?
Well, I don't know him. He's a...
Do you like him?
Well, I don't know him to make the judgment.
As an actor?
Oh, as an actor, yeah. He's done a couple of things I've quite enjoyed.
Yeah, well, he's my co-star.
He's your co-star? Oh, he'd be good. He'd be solid.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, do you think you're a good boss? Does power sit comfortably with you? Would you describe yourself as a good...
I'm a good leader. Mm-hmm.
You're a good leader?
Mm-hmm.
Leo?
Mm. Very good.
Yeah,
You're catching on.
Pathetically pleased with myself. Yeah, because I know a bit about stars. What title do you prefer? Actress, singer, or businesswoman? On your business card, it said Madonna.
Well, I have to act in all of those areas, so just call me an actress.
How long will you carry on, do you think, making music?
All my life.
I've got some more questions from the people. Do you mind this?
Does she carry cash or cards?
Does she carry cash or cards? It's a very good point. We just don't know, do we?
Cards.
Always cards.
Yeah, I always forget the cash. Sometimes I forget the cards.
What do you do then?
I ask someone else to pay for it.
Who does she most admire? Who does she most admire? Who does she actually look up to? A lot of people look up to her. Who does she look up to?
Hillary Clinton.
Yeah.
PJ Harvey.
PJ Harvey. I know. I understand. Don't you like a bit of drum and bass now? Then?
Yeah, and Bjork.
You like Bjork?
I love her, and I always look forward to her records. Yeah.
Yeah, well, she really keeps you guessing. You never know what you're going to get.
That's what I mean. She's very original and
her
unique.
videos always look great and everything.
And she's a visionary, and I like people that are visionaries.
She doesn't seem to care what people think. She just does her own thing, which is nice to see someone like
We
that.
like that.
Hannah wants to know, will you ever have...
Plastic surgery.
Oh, you are English. Sorry, you're just imitating foreign students. Brilliant. You want to know she's had plastic students?
Surgery, yeah.
Surgery. Okay, she's had plastic students. Surgery. Okay.
I don't know. Ask me in 10 years.
No, but is it... Right, but at the moment you haven't got like a hard and fast principle. Never.
No.
Because some people just say, I never do that.
Oh, never say never.
You never say never.
Mm-mm.
Okay. We've got a few seconds left. Is there any gesture you'd like to make to your detractors? Okay, nice. Boy, that told him.
Put your arm around Madonna, that's lovely.
Oh.
Come out, do that again, but you're very Madonna, you're right in the shadow. That's lovely. That's much better.
Okay, let's
There you
pretend
go.
really close.
Should we look down? It's slightly wan.
No, look up.
That's it.
You want light on your face.
Yeah.
Not too far up. You get a double chin.
That's it. That's great. Johnny, look at me. Johnny, look eyes at me. That's lovely.
Focus into the camera.
Okay.
That's great. Straight at me. Madonna's right in the shadow.
Get up.
Can't we do that one thing
You'll
where we
give
cover
me a
up the
big
thing?
nose.
There you go, do that.
You haven't got a big nose.
Yeah, but if you shadow my nose, it'll look big. I know about these things.
Yeah, no shadow of the nose.
Here, let me push his nose straight.
That's great. That's great.
It worked.
It really worked.
Bye.
Bye-bye, thank you.
Mwah. Mwah.
Take care of yourself.
From a cutting-edge queen of pop to cutting-edge television, next in For Later.